what you said about emotion, that's what I tell teachers all the time. Like, you got to take the emotion out of teaching. And I know they're like, but we're supposed to love our students. I was like, love is not an emotion, it's a choice.
How do you motivate high school?
Well, see, and I took it personally. And so then I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm like, stop. It's not doing me any good. It's not doing me good. And that's when I created my classroom management system that I talked about on here before. It's
my kids, if they get written up, they can't have a job for a whole nother rotation.
Oh, dang.
You know
How long are the rotations?
Every 2 weeks.
The 2 rules that changed like the entire game was you can't call my name and we don't talk in the hallway.
Kids think maybe that they like chaos, but they don't.
They don't.
And
if you don't pay attention on my back, are you cheating?
But
I'm gonna put a 0 in if you're cheating.
I'm like, don't make me.
How much of classroom management is bluffing?
100%. You know what? I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity to start businesses, right? And they had to write up a proposal.
Like
no, but they did the background. But these kids was racking up debt. $50. How many lessons Lily done had? And he was getting my kids in debt.
Well, hello, Teachers Off Duty family. Welcome back, guys. I'm Leslie Robb at Leslie Robb Comedy, and with me are 2 amazing teachers.
I like the way you said
She said it twice.
Yeah,
I like it.
Because I really mean it, guy.
The dress is giving what it's supposed to give, though.
It is.
Thanks.
The dress is giving what it's supposed to give.
Look at this, guys. I didn't realize it was a snap dress, so if I move the wrong way, it's going to be a different kind of show. Okay, anyway.
At least you don't dress like a teenage boy.
Hey, I said that's comfortable.
That's my little wardrobe, okay? I tried to dress girly for a little minute, and I was over it.
Yep. You're like, look,
it can be uncomfortable.
I was like, just take too much
It really can be uncomfortable, yeah.
The kids I got this year, some No Limit Soldiers. I ain't got time to dress kids.
Yeah, and the kids are vicious about
I need combat boots this year. I ain't.
But then once the kids know you, they know you. They know that's your vibe.
That's your vibe, yeah.
And I'm honest teacher vibes. Also Bree Breezy. Okay, I don't know.
I'm weak. Miss Lattimore, Miss L.
It's like she's annoyed.
Guys, I'm annoyed with myself at this point because it's like I set myself up. I've got to figure it out.
You didn't
But at this point, what am I supposed to change everything? Like I'm not about to do
Here's
that.
the thing.
I mean, you could though because they know your face.
Yeah, don't tell them.
But then because they know my face,
change know your name.
But because they know my face, then it's like.
But you can't find somebody by facial recognition. Only the FBI can do that. They still got to type. I really thought it was funny and nobody laughed. Wait, what?
Really don't change the name?
No.
Why?
Don't change her names.
But they know her face.
She does not need to change her usernames.
You don't think so?
Do it.
I don't think. No, I'm scared for you.
Yeah.
Girl, I don't play with social media. I don't play with social media.
How long have you had it?
I mean, since I started.
Well, girl, how many years?
3, 4.
You're at where you are after 3-4 years?
Yeah. Don't change it, cuz.
Yeah, don't change it.
Yeah, don't touch it.
Girl, that's what's up. That's a blessing.
Yeah, leave where it's at.
Thank you.
You know where you shouldn't leave where it's at?
Nope.
Yourself at home.
Exactly.
You should come to the board. Teachers come. That was a word segue.
Hey, it worked though.
It worked.
It worked.
It did work. I like
You
it.
shouldn't leave yourself at home.
Yeah.
You should come to the Board Teachers Comedy Tour. So next week is the start of the new tour. Is it Friday yet? I just like the name.
Yeah. See, that's names.
It gives me a dopamine.
I feel like I say that every week.
Yeah.
On Tuesday.
Oh, on Tuesday. It's been a long week on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So brand new tour, brand new jokes. Tickets are on sale. January will be in Fort Pierce, Florida, Avon Park. Who typed this up? The letters are smaller. I had to put a little closer. So the first shows are in Florida from January 16th to the 19th, Fort Pierce, Avon Park, Jacksonville, and Tampa. And then the rest of January, I got to repeat. You know what? My ADHD medicine wore it off. Okay. Fort Pierce, Florida, Avon Park, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Macon, Georgia, hot Georgia, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, El Paso, Texas, Midland, Texas, Lubbock, Texas. And then in February, Happy Black History Month, we will be in Amarillo, Texas, Portland, Maine, Orano, Maine, Lowell, Massachusetts, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Evans, Georgia, hot Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. They don't know that's from Tyler Perry. They don't know Medea. Savannah, Georgia, San Luis Obispo, California.
Oh, you like that name?
Santa Barbara, California. Los Angeles, California, San Diego, California. Then in March, we'll be in Cheyenne, Wyoming, Greeley, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Louisville, Kentucky, Wabash, Indiana.
Wabash.
Is it Wabash?
Well, you gotta say Louisville, they say.
Louis, I say Louisville. Yeah. Wabash. That sound like it's giving onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
Akron, Ohio, Erie, Pennsylvania, and then April will be in Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri.
Missouri.
Now you just
Louisiana. Lock them up. Have y'all not seen that TikTok?
No.
People. Okay,
I'm
anyway.
gonna let you ride because
Have y'all seen?
clearly means something.
But yeah,
Have y'all seen the stop sign one? Stop sign.
yes. I
Okay,
know
God,
sometimes.
dog. I was finna be like, hey.
Wait, what? Oh,
We'll
I
take
only
it
know that because of
over.
the
Yeah,
episode
we'll
y'all
take
just
it.
did. Yeah.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. Get your tickets. boardteachers.com/comedy-tour.
Tickets.
To get your tickets, man, to go fast like hotcakes. And to reiterate, new material, new tour, new surprises. It's gonna be so fun.
It's gonna be awesome.
What you know what else is fun?
What?
Teacherspeakers.com.
It is.
Getting you a good little, it's probably not fun, the website, I guess, but so check out teacherspeakers.com to book one of us to come and speak at your conference. You know, business in the front, party in the back, a little conference in the morning, a little party in the evening.
Yes.
Get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And then I take a
Both words.
then you rock out the show. What do you?
We didn't know that middle part.
We're so cool.
Yeah.
It was giving Cheetah Girls.
It was.
Cheetah
It was.
There's 4 Cheetah Girls.
Yeah.
Destiny's Child. Well, Destiny's Child
Destiny's
was 4
Child was
sometimes
4.
too. But then it was 3.
Then
Then it was 3.
What's the one? Never mind. I can't remember. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Jonas Brothers?
No.
There's 3 of them.
Now you just trying to be
There's
funny.
3 of them. Yeah.
Now you just
There's
trying to
3
be
of them.
funny.
But
So this episode,
A little different.
a little different. Just a little tad.
we could be in K-pop.
I don't know that.
See, everybody's talking
It's
K-pop
okay.
now.
I'll have
know
to
it.
tell you the story about it after. But Peyton
Okay.
asked me if she could watch it, and I was like, no. And then
Is it an adult show?
Now
or a kid show?
parents are even obsessed with K-pop.
no, I'm like obsessed with
Yeah,
it.
we were
I
at a
be
wedding
singing
just
that
the other
golden
week,
song all
and
the
they were
time.
singing the golden song. Yes,
know.
at a wedding.
It's because I needed to watch the entire thing. Thank you, Carlos, for making sure that I watched the entire thing. And it's such a good story. And me and Peyton, we just be singing and having us a good little
Yeah,
time.
everybody
Movie
loves
or a
K-pop.
show?
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Oh.
It's so good.
Yeah, and everybody's obsessed.
Okay, I gotta watch it.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
It's like
Yeah.
parents with Bluey. They obsessed with that too.
I love Bluey.
I
It's
don't
so
know
cute.
nothing. I don't have
My
no kids.
godson and Bluey.
I'm rocking with Bluey.
I don't got no kids, so I don't know nothing about it.
I'm rocking with Bluey.
Yeah.
We rocking with Bluey because Bluey
Yeah.
rocking with us.
But you know what you could use Bluey for is a source of classroom management.
That's a good one.
Never in your life could you.
Hey, man.
Disruption.
A little prize, a little free time.
It's a you can earn it.
Disruption.
No? Okay.
Disruption.
I was just kidding. So that's why today we're going to be talking about classroom management strategies that actually work and not the Bluey one that I just mentioned because apparently that won't work, guys.
It might work in the lower grades.
You think?
It
As
would.
a reward?
It definitely would.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
though.
we
Middle
do
school-
brain breaks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it for 3rd graders, but definitely like K through 1st,
Okay.
K through 2nd even.
'Cause you
Like a
could-
little brain break.
Yeah.
Or I do the SoFi music. What is
Oh,
that word?
lo-fi.
Lo-fi.
I would say when I was teaching the littles, I did Go Noodle. So I'm
Yes,
Go Noodle is
same,
what I used to
but
do.
I do
What is
the
golden noodle?
Go Noodle.
Oh, go
it
noodle.
does little videos, but the lo-fi on YouTube, they have a lot of them with the characters.
Yeah.
And they'll
They
be
do
like
the
sitting
little
and
lo-fi.
drinking tea or like
Yeah.
sitting and like
Cute.
reading a
Something
book.
like that.
So I'll put that on my screen when like this independent work and it's super cute. Like little characters, they got like Stitch ones and they'll have like fall backgrounds and the backgrounds will move.
That's cool.
I
Yeah,
literally
I
do
love
that.
those.
I do that in my classroom.
I do them all the time.
Okay. Now that the holidays are over, does anyone else feel like they have a financial hangover? Between the gifts, the food, the drinks, and the I deserve this moments, January hits and suddenly your bank account is like, we need to talk. That's where our sponsor Mint Mobile can help because this January, they're making it way easier to cut back on overspending, especially on wireless. Mint Mobile's end of year sale is still going on, but only until the end of the month. And right now you can get 50% off of unlimited premium wireless, which honestly is huge, especially if you've been overpaying big wireless for years like I was. I switched to Mint Mobile and compared to my old provider, same quality service, way fewer charges, and a bill that doesn't make me question my life choices. All their plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network without all those bloated plans and unnecessary monthly fees. And the best part? you get to keep your own phone and keep your same phone number, and all your contacts come right along with you. No drama, no tech meltdown, which, let's be for real, we all know teachers do not have time for. I use Mint Mobile, and now you should too. This January, quit overspending on wireless with 50% off of unlimited premium wireless. Plans start at $15 a month at mintmobile.com/TOD. That's mintmobile.com/TOD. A limited time offer, upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required at $15 a month or equivalent. Taxes and fees are extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 35 GB may slow down when the network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
Do you use Classroom Screen?
So I used to use Classroom Screen, and I guess I forgot about Classroom Screen.
I love
just hadn't
Classroom
used it in
Screen.
a
I've never
while.
heard of it. What is it?
So
Is it for younger grades?
No. It's
anybody can use
adaptable. You can put like a timer on it, the actual time. You can put YouTube videos.
The backgrounds are pretty
to-do
too.
lists. You can put messages like when
I
my
didn't know
kids
you could
come.
do to-do lists.
Yeah,
on
when my
Classroom
kids come into the classroom, that for me as a teacher, one of my weakest points with classroom management was the transition time.
Oh, yeah.
And it not being a smooth transition. Like it was a lot of talking, a lot of noise. And I knew that was sometimes because of me too. So now on the classroom screen, my kids know to like look on it, so they'll know, oh, if you're silent, we'll go to recess 5 minutes early. If everyone doesn't talk, so then they'll read the screen. But I love classroom screen. You can use it for everything.
Okay,
I use it
that's
for
good.
morning, when they come, morning work, independent work, all of it. And you could do multiple different slides.
See, I like stuff like that because then it keeps everything together and it's concise.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can do slides on Classroom Screen?
And it's the backgrounds. Some of the backgrounds move.
The backgrounds are cool. I do like the backgrounds.
They have like noise sensitivity, like the light that if you're talking too much, you can put like, oh, work silently or work on a level 1. Or I love it.
Did they update? They must have updated it.
I don't know.
I'm telling you
I've been
right
using
now, when I used to use it.
my teamwork mate put me onto it maybe 2 years ago.
I'm telling you, when I used it, when I first started, they didn't have all this stuff on there.
I love it.
I'm about to go back to it because she said slides.
Yeah.
I started reading this book called The Classroom Management Secret because this school year, the stuff I normally do, this group of kids
don't work.
Child. So I was like, okay. I was like, I'm a reader. I was like, surely you can. I bought like 5 different classroom.
That's good.
Because I was like, I want to figure this out. Because I was like, I don't want to be living in chaos every day.
No,
and the kids don't. As much as they think they like chaos, they don't.
No,
They lack a little structure.
Yes.
So what it did was, one, I unfortunately had to for a while turn into how our teachers were when we were in school.
And
like I couldn't joke with them at all. I couldn't, and I hated it.
But you have to have a good balance.
Yeah.
Because we all know educators that are too much friends. And it's like, and then they get to the point where you try to get admin or resource officers involved, and they're like, but my teacher been doing this with me all year. Or like, I don't know about you, but the girls that like I would coach, their teachers would reach out to me and be like, oh, I'm writing your player up for And then when I would talk to them, be like, we would joke like this all the time, but the moment they don't want.
I hate when teachers do that.
Yeah, so it's like there you have to have a balance.
So mine was I've always been able to do with my kids. I've always been able to get them to transition from silly to serious. I say this all the time. This group of kids this year, after their first 9 weeks, I said, oh, we can't be silly. So for like 3 weeks, I was like, no, we're not. Or this I changed toward the end of the 9 weeks. Because for some reason, the group of kids that we have this year, the things I could do in the past, like I thought I had pretty solid classroom management, but I was like, hey, the classroom management you've had for the last 6 years, this group of kids, they need something else.
Yeah, you gotta adapt
it's not working.
Yeah.
And so because, normally the kids, like they like the, little bit of bantering, like, but they could transition from silly to serious. The group of kids this year, I'm like, hey, they tried to use it against you. I'm like, oh no, we ain't doing that. Yeah. We ain't doing that. Like we got to know maybe they didn't learn like boundaries or something. Like I don't know. So anyway, I was like, okay, it's not their fault. If kids are not following, it's something that I'm doing. So I was like,
but that's really reflective as a teacher. That doesn't happen a lot because even I would say academically sometimes we can get really stuck, because I know me, I've been teaching the same content for 6 years in the same grade, and I can get very like, well, I've been teaching this multiplication this way all the time, but if that doesn't work for my kids, same with behavior. You don't have the same behaviors every year. You may have some that are similar, but we never have the same group of kids.
Well, I've never had to drastically change it. Like I even made a TikTok because after like the 4th week of school, I was like, hey man,
what is happening?
What is going on? I'm living in the Twilight Zone every day when I go to school. I mean, I was fighting for my life.
Well, and that's what people are saying too, that like you guys aren't alone. Like every other post, it's like somebody's like, what is going on this year?
Yeah, I agree.
Like they can't
and I genuinely don't know what it is, because people are like, is it COVID babies? And I'm like, no, they all went through COVID at the same time. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I ended up getting this book. It's called The Classroom Management Secret by Michael Linson. It's just got some really good, like, I've read classroom management stuff before, and I'm like, okay, but how do I implement this? Yeah. And the biggest takeaway that I've gotten from that is, if you set rules and procedures, it has to be clear. The kids have to know
for sure.
Clear. Like before, I've been able to like, you know, I didn't always have to like post my classroom rules. Like I could be like, I just told them, and then they just knew. This group of kids this year, I had to post. I had to, for the first time ever, I've had to actually post the classroom rules and like leave them up. With the discipline ladder of like, you know.
Yeah, they can't just be like, oh, she knows this.
Yeah,
what's happening
like I had to put, and it significantly cut down on behaviors, and I kept it simple. And I like went and I reflected. I said, okay, what are the things that they're doing that are like consistently like disruptive? And it was like a lot of stuff. And I was like, okay, well, what are you doing that is allowing that? So
to happen.
But that book helped me a lot, because I didn't realize that I millennials, we can be like, there's times for sarcasm, and then there's times where it's like the sarcasm ain't getting your point across, big dog. And so it taught me, one, I quit yelling a while ago, but it taught me like not to give like an emotional response. Like it has to be.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
It has to be, because I didn't realize until I read the book, I didn't realize I'd be like, oh, why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? And like now I'm like, hey, so do we talk in the hallway? And they're like, no. It was before, I'm like, you guys need to, like, why are y'all talking in the hallway? Like, stop talking. And it just sounded like annoying and like nagging. And they were just like, And like now I'm like, hey guys, do we talk in the hallway? In like a calm, like monotone voice. And
but
like,
even that, I feel like how you said those two scenarios in two different ways. I think one of the biggest things I learned I think it was a PD or one of my coaches, love him to death. I just spilled water on my... How did you do that?
See.
How did
oh my gosh, momentary pause.
We good?
I have no idea how I just spilled. And it got in my eye and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys
want to take another sip of water.
Oh, I have zero chill whatsoever. Apparently, I have a hole in my lip.
Yeah, that was wild.
And I just tried to drink some.
I don't even know.
Sitting right here.
Yeah, you didn't even.
I didn't see you.
You didn't see it.
I see you. I was looking at Shelby, and Shelby goes, and I'm like, whoa. And I look at you, and you're like going like this. I'm like, I'm confused.
Yeah. So we have a wardrobe change, because I was drinking some water, and somehow it turned into a water spout.
Yeah.
And it like flew out of the bottle and squirted me in the eye, and then fell all over my shirt. So wardrobe change, because I have a hole in my lip and I don't know how to drink water. So anyway,
happens to the best of us.
Kind of how class goes. That was a admin just walked in and I don't know how to teach anymore moment.
It's okay.
Sure. I don't even know what he was talking about. What was talking about? Classroom management. Sorry.
Yes, but I was saying how you can say two things in two totally different ways. But one of the biggest things my coach taught me is sometimes you can say it in like the shortest form, and it holds so much more weight than like the rambler. Like I could be like, stop talking in the hallway. We're never supposed to talk in the hallway. But now I'm talking in the hallway, and now I'm making it, and I'm saying all these words where I could just be like, are we supposed to talk? Or silent in the hallway? Like, so many less words.
The silence is like awkward for them too. Like because they expect us to like keep going. And then when we're just like, hey, we don't talk in the hallway, and then stop. And they're like, I thought you were gonna say some more after that, because they're used to getting, and I'm like bad at like being like, hey, like, and going on and on and on. And that book was like, no, say they know what as long as they know what the expectation is, then just, and it doesn't. These kids still, they be out the chain still, but at least we have like a structure and a parameter. Where at first I was like, hey, what you've been doing is not working. So that book has helped me a lot. It's got good practical strategies.
Well, and that what you said about emotion, that's what I tell teachers all the time. Like, you got to take the emotion out of teaching. Like, and I know they're like, but we're supposed to love our students. I was like, love is not an emotion; it's a choice. Like, you're making a choice to like do the things that you're making a choice to do the things that we do. And so, if you take emotion out of teaching, it'll take you a long way, because then you're not taking stuff personally. You're not holding grudges against kids.
Bringing it home. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I get sometimes I tie my emotions too deep into teaching my kids all the things, and then I bring that heaviness home, and it's hard. You can't just wash that off.
Carry
it. It's hard.
It has significantly helped me though. Like, I even made a TikTok because I was like, what is working for y'all? Because I was just like, I mean, I really was like, I genuinely didn't understand. I was like, the stuff that I'm normally doing is like not working, but like it normally works. And like this group of kids, like they needed, you can't respond to them in like you're annoyed or you're like roll your eyes or any type of that. No, you just give it like to where it shows them that you're not biased one way or the other. Like this is just what you want done. I also made sure that like I had clear rules and procedures, and that I didn't slack off of like the procedures. Like if one of the rules is like don't get out of your seat without permission. If a kid gets up and I'm like, oh, it's fine, it's only one kid, then it's like, nah. Like it's a slippery slope. So part of my classroom management was me not being consistent with like little stuff.
And I've said this on here before, with I had literally, it was a few years ago, I had gotten so done, like, because you have students that were calculating the minimum amount of work they have to do to pass, and they could care less. Like,
how you smart?
If you use them skills to actually do something.
And like my football boys, they were calculating the minimum amount of work that was going to get them the 60 that they need to play. Like, and they won't do any more than that. Like, they'll come in class to tell you straight up they're not doing it. And then, and they weren't being disrespectful. They're just like, Miss Rob, let's be for real. I'm not going to do this.
The way I would make one of my players run if their teacher was like.
And so, and then.
But some of them coaches don't care.
Well, I mean, as long as the kid plays. And they're like, right, but they're going to play, right?
Because they don't see him as a student first and then an athlete.
And so the thing is it was like, when it came to students like that, not just my football players though, and not just my sports kids, it was also kids who had A's in my class. There was one girl, she had an A, and she was like, this is not going to drop my grade that much, I know. So I'm not
like
do
some
it.
of the kids that like they had, like they get an A on everything.
How do you motivate high school?
Well, see, and I took it personally. And so then I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm like, stop, it's not doing me any good. It's not doing me good. And that's when I created my classroom management system that I talked about on here before. Yours is like definitely
class economy is
no, yours is very similar. But yours, you break down more of like inflation, all the things like that. Mine is just workplace. So it's classroom meets the workplace. So my kids clock in for their shift every day. And then they get their assigned shift. So they work, if their class is 90 minutes, the shift is 90 minutes. So they come in, they clock in, and then at the beginning of the shift, we have a staff meeting. So I'm, introducing the topic for today, or reviewing a topic, or going back over it. And then after that, they work their shift. So they work their shift, and then they go on break mid-class for about 5 minutes. And then that has reduced on kids leaving the classroom to go to the bathroom, because that's for real. Most kids don't really have to go to the bathroom. They just need to get up and walk. So if they know the break is coming midway, they're like, okay, I'll just wait. So then they work their shift, and then they go on break. After break, I check in. We do another staff meeting. Anybody need help? If there's another part of the subject.
How long is your classes?
90 minutes.
Oh, I was like,
if there's another part of the lesson, then they work that second shift. Then after they work their second shift, they clock out for the day and they go. Each pay period, every 2 weeks, they accrue PTO.
Yeah.
Because, and people were like,
did you come up with this yourself?
Yeah.
So what do they do with their PTO?
So that's when they take, I know, people are like
PTO is like
paid time off.
Yeah, I'm about to say so.
Because I was having kids come in and they weren't working anyway. So now they accrue PTO. So they'll work to get their PTO.
those days
because like if if the kid comes in and they're like, oh my gosh, my boyfriend broke up with me, I'm not trying to do anything today.
Take a
day. Do you have PTO?
Yeah, that's good because that's
and so she's like, she's like, I have 25 PTO. I was like, well, the work we're doing today is 50 PTO, which is 50 points.
Yeah.
I said, so you can take half a day, but then you have to work half your shift.
Second shift.
So she works the second shift. And so they accrue PTO every time. I have some kids that are like
confused. I'll be like, can I get written instructions?
Well, they do.
They get it. They understand it.
But then it's like, now it's like cake. Like,
yeah, because even with mine, like by the end of the year, my class economy stuff that I do with my kids, it's they run it. I don't have to do anything.
Same for like my classroom management strategy. Like my kids now know though that they've been now introduced to that verbiage. So when they go to graduate and they go work in the workplace, they already know what PTO is. Yeah. They already know how to take time off. And then now our district requires you to be able to, once they have demonstrated mastery, you have to go back and fix the grade and give them a chance to do it. So instead of having to do all that, I give them sick leave. So they can turn in something late or after time, but they get minus 10 points. Sick leave is always minus 10. So if it was an A, it's now a B.
Attention to detail.
I can see. So yours is definitely more workplace. Like, see, so my classroom strategy,
because it's high school,
is more so tied into the math and the finance part of it.
And mine's on the other
side. So in third grade, they got an English teacher and a math teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
But in my class, I do this with my homeroom to where they already have class jobs. Right. I was struggling after COVID, I was struggling getting my kids to come to school. Point blank period. Yeah. But not even just come to school, but like be invested in the school. Like, and taking accountability. Like I had kids that would just break my stuff. And they would not care. There would be no consequence. There would be like...
And they know it's not.
Yeah. And I didn't know what to do. So I started paying them for their jobs. And then, they have bills. Like they have rent and, things like that. But I think for the smaller kids, they need... smaller increments of rewards and systems to where they can see like it coming in. So us having like a once a week type of thing. So they save up and they budget and they money, for rewards. And they're not like, the rewards don't have to be things I buy. Like I think a lot of teachers have like class stores and stuff. I give rewards like coming upstairs to watch a movie for lunch or like you sit in a different seat or I'll switch seats with you or
the seat of choice.
Yeah. Or like my favorite one is our highest price one where they can be the teacher. So like they tell the kids when to line up and when to walk in the hallway and they take attendance and they take such accountability, but like getting them there on time. Like you saying, kids leave, don't come to school. In order to get rewards or to get paid, you have to be here before the bell rings. Things like that. And it's like, or if you don't do what you need to do, like if they don't turn in work, I fine them. So like my rationale is, if I'm an adult and my car bill is due on the 25th and I don't turn it in or it's not done, I get a fine. It's going to keep going up. Or like if their desk is dirty, I charge them more rent. If I'm a landlord and I walk into a house that's a mess, you don't think there's gonna be no consequence
to
that?
Be broke.
Exactly.
My baby will be broke. So, that's be messy out.
I'm cute. But for a lot of my kids that they don't have that accountability part at home, when they are at school and they know rent is coming up, I see them fixing their desks, or like I have some boys that I'm trying to help think more long term. I think sometimes they blow up and they just think, how is this one moment gonna be? And then after 30 minutes, like, dang, I shouldn't have did that. Thinking about paying and saving and budgeting, or like, am I going to get this fine? Is it worth it? And my kids, if they get written up, they can't have a job for a whole nother rotation.
Oh, dang. How long are the rotations?
Every 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
But then it's like, I try to get them to think, if you don't get a job these next 2 weeks, how you going to pay rent in the next 3 weeks? Or 4 weeks? And then they're like,
is everybody assigned a job?
No. And that's the tricky part, because you really have to budget your money, because you don't know if you'll have a job the next rotation. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So but it keeps them on their toes. And I think one of the biggest thing with classroom management is the consistency, but also not to get them bored. They're still kids. It still needs to be exciting. So when we do things like this and you add things or you take things away or you change things, it keeps them on their toes. I mean, as adults, we get bored too. We want to spice things up.
The kids want to know the why of things. Like they don't. So I told my kids, like, when I came in and did like the classroom management like reset, I for like a week, like I went over it like every day, and it was only like 7. There was like 7 like core rules and then like 5 consequences, like the discipline ladder or whatever.
Yeah.
And I explained it because they were all looking all sour faced because one of the rules is like, you can't call my name because the kids would like the two rules that changed like the entire game was you can't call my name and we don't talk in the hallway because my middle schoolers, like I love them. They love me. Like they want to come tell me things. Like they want to talk to me. And the hallway and class change was always when they would like come up and like start and it was overwhelming to me, like trying to get into the next class. And so, and it would make kids from other classes would get out of line to come and talk to me. They would make other kids think they could get out of line to talk to me. And so but I had to explain to them. So I told them, I said, the rule that you can't call my name, I'm not trying to be mean. Like that rule is not to be rude or to say like, I hate when you call it. I said, these rules have no emotions associated with them. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. I said, but it causes too much chaos. I want you guys to learn in like a calm environment. And so I always use like the example of my dog, Tyson. I'm like, my dog, if I open the door, he gonna run straight out. Like he's a runner. Like if it's even an inch of the door, he gone. And I told him, I said, Tyson, I love my dog. Like, I don't want him to get run over by a car. So, like, I have to have some, like, parameters for him.
Right, boundaries.
Right. And so he doesn't understand why because he's a dog. Like, he doesn't. And I said, I'm not saying y'all are dogs. I had to, like, because middle schoolers are like, you calling us dogs? And I'm like, no, I'm not calling.
What dog am I?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not calling you a dog. And so I told him, I said, if Tyson runs out and he's just, like, running around everywhere he can, and he runs in the street, he's going to get hit by a car. That could hurt him.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, but if I have him, like, fenced in, he's free to, like, run around and do his thing, like within the fence and within the confines and the safety of
but just like you said, the kids think maybe that they like chaos, but they don't.
They don't.
And even my partner teacher, now I have a new partner teacher. I was helping her. This is her first year teaching, so I was helping her create a seating chart. And because we were having some issues when my babies left me. We were having some issues at home. So I was giving her suggestions, whatever, and she ended up moving my one.
We all got that one.
Yep, she moved my one. And I agreed that my one needed to be moved. And boy, did that one put up a fight earlier in the week. That was not on board with that. And then she actually told me that later in the week because he did and realized that himself how much that change, that little change made such a big impact on his own discipline within himself. He thanked her. For moving his seat.
I'm talking about we be working hard.
And she said it was the highlight of her week.
Yeah.
To where we know we try to do what's best for our kids to create these environments of consistency, of safety, of, learning, right? But sometimes they don't see it in the moment. Yeah. But when they see it in the moment.
It's really cool when they see it.
It makes a huge difference.
And they buy in and they're not like, oh, you just giving us rules. So that's why because I saw all their faces like glazing over when they were like, why does she keep going over this? And then when I explained it the way I did about Tyson, they were like, oh, okay. Because I'm like, it allows for us to be able to like, you can sit where you want to. Or you can work in groups, or you can, because we have like clear parameters that we come back to. So the silly to serious normally was like my thing that I could refer to, but now I refer to those 7 rules, and that's our parameter in it.
Well, then you guys get how it would look with my PTO. Yes, because it's 100%. Like admin, they come in and they're like,
what is happening?
What is going on? Why are they just sitting there? So what I did is I shifted it, because you know how it is. Like every good system, you have to... There's So I adjusted it a bit because yes, they earn that PTO, and that's just like I told admin. My whole rationale behind it is when I'm an adult, I take PTO. I don't have to tell you why I'm taking my PTO.
Valid.
Okay, as long as they are not being inappropriate, they are not doing something misbehavior. But I actually was like, okay, let me just shift it up a little bit. So this year, with the teachers that I've been working with who've implemented my system, I told them, I said, with the filler time for the PTO, tell them, create a goal. By the end of the school year, I will have learned this new skill. Oh. So then with their free time, instead of using their PTO just aimlessly to do whatever, use it to learn a new skill. You have some kids learning to crochet, some kids learning to knit.
So then when admin comes in, they're doing something like that.
Some kids are learning how to draw. They're teaching themselves how to draw through YouTube videos. You have kids doing different techniques and stuff that they come up with. So use your PTO wisely. I mean, some of them just aren't, but it's just like in real life. Some people use their PTO and go and blow it off at a bar.
But I think the great thing that we're all, like, I would think we all realize is that it's adaptable, right? Like what you're doing is adaptable. You're doing is adaptable. Even like when I had like a kindergarten teacher reach out to me about the program I do with my kids, you know, and I have like teachers of whole different grade levels, not just third grade, like you're talking, and different content areas. And they're like, well, how can I do it in kindergarten? You can do it in kindergarten. Maybe only do 1s instead of 5s and 10s, or like, you know, maybe you don't do PTO and clock in and clock out, but you can do, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many adaptions to where it's grade appropriate, it's content appropriate, it's age appropriate. Even I'll ask you guys this, do you feel like depending on certain groups of kids, not just age, but maybe ethnicity, or like, you know, maybe from the city to the suburb, from even my side, west side to east side, like, do you think different strategies of behavior management can be different there?
Yes.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Because your classroom economy thing would work for Peyton. Her teacher, who's fantastic, by the way. Her teacher, Peyton's desk is like always messy. She got ADHD, but I mean, she takes her medicine, but sometimes like we still just, mommy's messy.
We're working on it.
Peyton's a little messy. And so Peyton, her teacher came over and I was like, Lord, her teacher sent me this, so she thought it was funny too. But she came over and she said Peyton's desk is like normally messy, and she was like, I was trying to help her, you know, like motivate her to get her desk organized. And she said, Peyton, if you clean your desk, like the desk fairy will come by and give you a treat, and like I guess it was like a piece of candy or something. And Peyton goes, no, thank you. I'm grateful for what I have.
Period.
I'm sorry. That is hilarious.
I said,
I don't need nothing else. She said,
she's like, you know what? I'm actually good.
I'm actually comfortable
I
with
buy you
where
too
I'm
much
at.
stuff.
I'm sorry. That's funny.
Girl,
I love that.
The way I was laughing and embarrassed at the same time,
that
she
is
said,
funny.
It
She said, try something else.
Yeah, that's right.
She said,
That ain't gonna work over here.
She's like, that was cute, but I'm
It was
good.
cute.
I was mortified. The teacher thought it was funny, but I was mortified. I was like, man,
hilarious.
I'm
No, if
really
you told
sorry.
my kids that a fairy was coming by, if they didn't clean their desk, they would look at me
But
like,
she's second grade though, like so.
no,
But still,
even no, my baby.
It's so freaking
Peyton
funny.
said no, thank you. I'm grateful
thank
for
you.
what I. It was the no, thank you for me.
And then
She was polite. She was very polite.
Yeah, she was like, no, thank you. I'm really grateful for what I have.
That is hilarious.
But your classroom economy thing would work.
Yeah, but I also think my kids, unfortunately, they're sometimes pushed in situations where they grow up very fast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they see things very early. And I remember, I think it was my first time student teaching, and I was teaching in a very English language learner like area, and it was my first time like experiencing that. And that's honestly why I wanted to go to school in an urban place, so I could experience different types of schools, and, you know, all those things. So the school had a very high like immigrant student population.
Ours does.
And I was talking to one of my students about, I think, like paying for a field trip, and they were like, oh, I can't pay for my field trip on Tuesday because my mom get paid on this day, whatever. And I was like, I don't think I ever knew when my parents got paid. And I called my mom. I was like, did I ever, like, no? She was like, no, you never really had to worry about those things. But like, my kids know, oh, she's getting paid this much on this day. The bill,
They know
this
how
is
much?
due on this.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. They, to the T. Because unfortunately, they are either shared that information or in environments where they kind of have to know that information to where like their parents keep it real with them. They're like, sorry, you can't go on a field trip this month. Like we got to find a sponsor or whatever it may be. But also in Charlotte, because we have a high percentage of like generational poverty, thinking long term about saving this month for next month or next month is not a concept that a lot of my students
I didn't learn it till I was
grown. Yeah, and honestly, as adults, like that's a concept unless you see it. You think, oh, my pay for August is my money for August. But you, as adults, you know things gonna come up August or September, even or whatever it may be. But yeah, you gotta find something that works for them and their realities. I don't think I can't take the same thing to the city next to me and it worked. I gotta adapt it.
It's one size fits. It's not one size fits all.
My daughter was. I said something. I don't know. I said something about the Peyton's TV in her room, and she goes, "Mommy, you didn't have a TV in your room when you were growing up?" And I was like, "Peyton, no, I didn't have a TV in my room." And she's like, Mommy, you didn't have your own room when you were growing up?
How did you function?
I said, Peyton, no, I didn't.
What was life like?
Right.
Did you live in a box?
Like, genuinely flabbergasted that I didn't have my own room and a TV. I said, no, I shared a room with your aunts. And she said, Mommy, there's 3 of them. And I said, Peyton, I know.
And a bed.
Right. And we had, it was one king size bed, and we all fell slept in that king size bed. And the TV was in the living room. What'd you say?
I was queen.
Oh, y'all squish. It was time for y'all.
Squish.
Yeah, my brother wasn't born yet.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, you like
we do head to feet. Head to foot.
We was squishing there like sardines, baby. And then we would get in trouble for talking.
It was a 2-room trailer. A 2-room trailer. Our room was at one end, and my parents' room was at the other end. And well, and then we talked about this before. Yeah.
Did you enjoy that? Did y'all used to get in trouble for talking when you're supposed to be asleep?
Girl, yeah.
We used to get in trouble for talking all the time. I'm like, y'all gotta sleep in there.
Woke up.
What is the age differences? What's
my younger sister is 4 years younger. My older sister is a year and a half older. So we were. I don't do public math.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even know. I know that it's 2 years between each of us.
Okay.
Except my brother is like, I think, a 3 between him and my youngest sister.
So we're all close in age. Yeah. Because my little sister's in her 30s now.
Yeah, my youngest.
Me and my sisters, when we moved to North Carolina, we shared a room, and that was because
it was the best.
It was the best.
I thought she was. I was like, she finna say no, because
I will say, because this is why
I was confused.
This is why. So when we lived in New York, there was 2 rooms. So me and my older sister, we had bunk beds, and then my younger sister, when she was a baby, she had the room, whatever. But when we moved to North Carolina, like obviously there's an adjustment period of trying to find a house, whatever. So it was like one very long room. And again, I was little, so maybe my perception of this very large room was not this very large room, but that's just how I envisioned it. But we all had like a twin bed or like one of those little beds, whatever. But what I loved about it is there was no timeout. Oh. There was no like go to your room, because we all have the same room, so we all in there. Like the timeout, we here.
So
like
we having a good time. It's a party in here, baby.
I just remember that.
I gotta go to my room, and ain't nobody in there.
Because at least we had our own beds. I couldn't imagine. Yeah. I'm sorry, the feet to my sisters.
Well, time out is not a thing.
I know. I was like, what is time out?
I got time out. I got time out to get whooped.
I said time out.
I mean,
Peyton goes to time out.
After that,
no
they
time
let
out.
you go? My mama they didn't do that.
Girl,
you had to sit in that for a little minute.
I don't know what time out is.
We never had a timeout, like or grounded or any of that. No,
we didn't do that.
But after you got whooped, you just were free to go.
I mean, you was on punishment.
Not free to go, but
you couldn't do nothing.
You could go to school.
But that's what I'm saying. Where did you immediately after?
Well, it was
to your room to cry.
I was about to say,
that's what I'm saying. After going to the room, we went to the room together. That was the no. Wow.
I actually don't know.
I actually don't know.
After what happened? It was such a small space. Right. It was like I don't even remember what we did. Honestly, it just runs together at this point.
Wow.
I'm like, I think it's just all like blurred.
But some of these kids, they don't go. You can tell they don't go to timeout or nothing. I think they put their parents in timeout.
Yeah, for real.
I'm like, you talk to your mom like that.
And I don't know about y'all, but I think that this is just me. I can tell the kids that actually get disciplined at home, and the ones that can't.
Yeah.
I mean, don't. Because of the fact that I can address something with a student and their reaction, I can tell whether or not they're because
or they'd be like, call her.
Yeah.
That is,
the caller one.
If you get a kid that be like, call her.
Third graders that'll say call her?
Yes.
No, mine will say this. Little girl. He one said call her. The other one was like, I'll call her right now for you. I'll text her right now for you.
Because I love the kids that I don't even got to do it. I'd be like this, and they'd be like, okay. And I'm not even.
I was that kid.
I'd be like, I don't even got your mama number for real. But I'm like, don't make me.
How much of classroom management is bluffing?
100%.
If you don't pay attention on my back, are you cheating?
But
I'm going to put a 0 in if you're cheating.
All you got to do is do it one time for one kid and just step into the hallway. I remember this and I still talk to this, and I know they gonna see this, but I don't care. I used to be like, I'm going out in the hallway, and I used to look at her through the window, but I wasn't on the And then I'll be like, you lucky she ain't pick up. You better turn around for our car again. But me and her mama was cool. So then sometimes when she would come to Walker's, I would get to her before her kid came outside. Yeah. I'd be like, she think I called you. All right, cool.
I love the parents.
But we was cool. Me and the mama.
I love the parents.
But also me and her daughter had the relationship where we was cool too.
Right.
So because her mom respected our relationship, like I don't think everything needs to be handled at home. Like sometimes the parents still need the child still needs to see you as an authority figure.
Right.
And once it's like, oh, they know that you can't really do nothing, so to speak, in the classroom. It's kind of out the window.
Administration supportive?
100%.
So I think classroom management is harder for teachers who they're at schools where their administration is not 100%. Supportive because they put their system in place, but then they have no reinforcement for the system they put in place.
No,
because
my
admin's fantastic, but I couldn't call. I rarely ever call admin. That's why I was trying to figure out a system because I was like, by the time I had called a principal like 2 or 3 times, I was like, bro, you don't even call principals. Like you don't need to figure this out. You don't know. You don't do that.
Yeah.
But some schools like I bet their classroom management system sometimes is hard because they have their clear like rules and procedures, their discipline ladder. Yeah. But once the kids break that rule or whatever, nothing happens with administration.
Not last year, but my last principal, because we just got a new principal last year and she's still around. But I had a male principal for like 3-4 years and now we have a female principal. Both of them, if I came to them, because I never had a parent that like I couldn't feel like I could talk to, but I know it's happened before to where like I would rather have someone here, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know if I called them and been like, hey, I need you to handle this for me, no questions asked. No questions asked. They will handle it.
1000%.
Where's the number? I got it.
Because they trust us. I mean, our principals, like, they trust us.
Yeah. And with my classroom management strategies, a lot of admin are kind of apprehensive at first.
Really?
They're like...
well, the PTO probably, they're like...
Yeah.
Because they're like, I wasted instruction on
and
time.
then going to break because it's like, you're taking them out to break. Are you, they're going to walk away. I was like, my kids don't act like I don't have to do my kids like that. Yeah, my kids know like not to play with me, and not because they're well, maybe a little bit, but it's just I think they have
a healthy level.
It's and it's a mutual respect. Like my kids legit respect me. So a lot of admin are apprehensive. So a lot of teachers who I've brought it up to that ask about it, they're like, how do you address it with admin? And I said, honestly, with most admin, if they see it working and there's no issues, they usually are fine. It's the ones that you are. And the kids is all over the place. You're not managing it. They don't like that. Because you know how it is. Some teachers, I'm not throwing
it's
stones.
called a spade, man.
But they'll implement a program and they get tired and they're like,
drop it, and they'll drop it.
And so then they're like letting things slide, and they're like, oh well, because the kids are supposed to get paid every 2 weeks. Like you're supposed to update grades every 2 weeks. Like, we're all guilty of not updating grades. Like we're supposed to. I know, same.
You update grades.
So it's just so that my kids get paid
a day before progress report.
Yeah, same. No, day of. Like when they're due 8 a.m.
I'm stressed out the day of.
Sometimes
report cards were due on Friday, and I still asked for an extension.
Yeah. Well, it's now kept me accountable too. For every 2 weeks because of the fact that if I'm going to implement my classroom strategy, then I have to be held accountable too to make sure their grades updated. I'm not gonna lie, I still be like, oh well, this month, what happened was the accounting department.
No way we can be like, and we supposed to change jobs today. I'm like, no, because we had a day last week, so we really need to just roll it over.
Why they just be believing us too?
The payroll department.
I'd be like, I'll pay you $2 extra. They'd be like, all right, cool. Go.
Like, if I get something,
$2.
Yeah. I was like, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give you an extra 5 PTO. All right, we're good.
I love kids, man.
But as long as you throw them a bone and they don't feel like they being gypped.
But do you find this too, y'all? When you create systems, y'all, I got kids selling each other PTO.
No, can we talk about it? Hold on.
Selling PTO.
I did it for 1 year and I never did it again. I was like, I gave my kids, because in this particular class, again, adaptable, right? So every year my class economy can look a little different depending on the kids. Right. Okay. Now, this 1 year, my kids were very academically, I could have very intellectual conversations with them, like about just different things. Like the conversations me and these kids would have was great. I love them kids, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity to start businesses, right? And they had to write a proposal. No, but they did the background. I needed a name. I needed prices. I needed, all the things. So I had one kid. He was really talented in making pipe cleaner dinosaurs. So he would sell these pipe, and I'm telling you, they were talented kids, right? Drawings. I had this one kid doing Spanish speaking lessons. Okay.
All right.
Love it. Bilingual, okay? So at recess, the kids would sign up for these lessons. So it came to first payday. When I tell you, he had the list with the price, but these kids was racking up debt. They said, Lily owed me $50. $50? How many lessons Lily done had? And he said, well, I had a lesson on Monday, on Tuesday, and I said, well, we ain't gonna be able to do this.
Yes.
Because he was getting my kids in debt. And
that might say he a real business owner.
Say, oh, no, y'all I brought him inside. I said, well, maybe we give him like a discount, like a Black Friday. Like, I don't know. We got 50% off if she says thank you. I don't know. But I was like,
she said thank you.
He was like a debt collector. Like, it was like credit score was about to be
smart, man. He was smart.
And he was racked.
That's genius.
Up on them Spanish.
You need to do something with classroom jobs.
You do.
I don't do anything.
That would be really good.
I don't do anything. I mean, I have classroom helpers, but I have the same two classroom
that's
helpers.
That's why I started what I did, because so many people need that everyday thing, every accountability for all kids. And the thing is, like you said, for all ages, you can make it appropriate. You can do taxes.
I used to think they didn't care about classroom jobs.
They do.
They
do. I was like, and the thing is, and it takes so much responsibility off me in the end because they're running it. Yeah. Right? Because now in February, I don't have to do it. I got a banker to collect it. I got a person jotting down fines for me. She got her own little black book walking around. You know what I'm saying?
The traffic light.
And now I'm just teaching a lesson. I'm just I got a grader.
Like, work for me. Yeah.
But honestly, they take so much pride in it, and then they see a return on their good behavior on things like that, where they can buy rewards, and
you have great. How many kids?
20. But when I had my old partner teacher, she would do it with her class. So you can do it amongst kids you share with other teachers. You could do it with just your homeroom. So like,
because I have 100 kids, so I wonder how.
No, you can. I'm telling you, you can do it.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we talked about this before.
I'm telling you. And the thing is, once you stay consistent with, like you was talking about, the kids will hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And even if you forget,
because I can't tell them I'm on a diet or nothing. What you eating that Pop-Tart for?
Yeah. Didn't you say you was on a diet with me? Right. But it's really great. And then the thing is, with me and my kids, like attendance and tardies was a big thing. So if you make it so that they have to be like in their seat and they can't turn in rewards, or they can't get a new job unless they're not late every day, or they have to be here so many days out of the week. Yeah.
How do you get the kids who don't care to do it?
I've never had a kid that doesn't care.
Ever.
Even in
high school. Chronic absenteeism is a problem across the board. But honestly, this has helped because my students have to call out. If they're not coming to work, they have to call out.
My kids are always here.
So they'll email me and call out.
Maybe I'm a visual learner.
And it's not hard.
It's not. Need to see this.
I had a kid who, I kid you not, maybe 3 days out of the week, he was not here. And I was like, you will never get a job in my class. He would be like, I want this. I want technology. I want this. I said, if we're shooting to get technology, you have to be here. And he got his first job. When I tell you, that boy on it.
That's
and it's great to see it. They love it.
Yeah, my high schoolers will tell you in a minute, Miss Rob. I didn't
realize yours functioned like that. Because I had heard yours before.
It's
but
just
yours is
it's
like
just appropriate for high school. Like my kids, I couldn't give them PTO. I can't give them breaks. I can't.
If you watching this, don't even think about no PTO.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't. But that's appropriate for kids that can function more so independently on different like wait.
That's why it's adaptable.
It's a good
and that's why like even the kindergarten teacher that I talked to, like she's doing it in kindergarten. kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say there was a kindergarten teacher that emailed me, and she was like, "I am doing it in kindergarten. It just looks differently."
Yes.
But she's like,
yours?
"Yeah,
huh?
Where do they see yours though? Where
I mean,
can you find it.
I post snippets of mine, but it's not going to be until December that my actual course with modules are coming out where like you can. And then the thing is, what I'm doing is like they can sign up for like one-on-ones or like group consultations to where like if you watch the module and you still are like, hey, I have a 6th grade class, I don't know how to do this with 100 kids, you can sign up for a one-on-one to where we can talk it through, we can write it out, we can like adapt it to you and your kids, your
really
grade
good.
level, what community you teach in.
I need somebody told my teacher face that was on here yesterday. I've been writing my daggum learning intention and success criteria on the board every day. She said, if you don't print that stuff out and laminate it,
we are the most creative people out here. If you don't put that somewhere, everybody
the way
needs
that I was like, she was like, you teach the same, even if the lesson changes, the standards stay the same, and the learning intention and success,
somebody needs it.
The way that I was like, what the heck? Why did I
even have like a binder with like the sleeves in it, and you just have them all, you just take it out. Boop,
yes.
Boop, boop.
I don't know why I never thought of this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Because that's the first thing my principal and them look at when they come in. They're like, what's on the board? I'm like, I ain't write it yet.
Give me a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So hopefully you got some good classroom management strategies that work. I sure have taken some good things.
Work on it.
My students are going to watch this and be like, I thought you said on the podcast you was going to give us some classroom jobs. I'm like, shut up.
She gonna pay y'all. She gonna pay y'all.
Y'all auntie said that.
It's coming, y'all.
We gonna get it right.
Mama had said shit, okay. But check out, we'd love to hear like some of your classroom management strategies and things that have worked for you. The people who you don't have supportive admin with your classroom management stuff, like comment and let us know like some stuff that you do that helps, because I'm sure there's other teachers that are in the same boat. But follow Teachers Off Duty podcast, follow Board Teachers, and follow all of us on our social media platforms. Bye. Love you, best friends. Bye.